Welcome to Math with Wong. Today we're going to look at number 2 of the May 2024 Standard Level Exam Paper 2. As you can see here, this is a financial application. Darren buys a car for $35,000. The value of the car decreases by 15% in the first year. When you decrease by 15%, that's 1 minus 0.15, which means you have retained 85% of the value. Find the value of the car at the end of the first year. Well, what you're going to do is you're going to take 35,000 and multiply by 0.85, and that's going to give you the value at the end of the first year. $29,750. After the first year, the value of the car decreased by 11% in each subsequent years. So that means we're going to have a geometric sequence from that point on, right? So the first term, then you go down by 15%. So multiply by 0.85. Then every subsequent year, I'm not multiply 0.85 anymore. When you decrease by 11%, then you're left with 89% of what you had the year before. So multiply by 0.89, multiply by 0.89, and so on and so forth. Find the value of the car 10 years after he buys it. Well, 10 years, this is after year 1. So this is after 1 year. This is after 2 years. And I want after 10 years. So this is my first term, not that. 29,750 multiplied by the common ratio raised to the power of r, right? I don't count the first year because the first year is 15%. So I'm going to have 9 years of decreasing by 11%. So punch that in the calculator. The question also asks you to round off to the nearest dollar. So the final answer is 10,423. Part C of the question, you want to reach 10% of the original value. What is 10% of the original value? Well, what you need to do is you need to take at the original amount and times it by 10%. So we're looking at 3,500. You want it to be less than it, right? So you want to solve for the value of n. So 29750 times 0.89 to the power of, now you can call it n, you can call it n minus 1. It really doesn't matter, right? But if you want to look at number of years, right, we can think of it as n minus 1 here. So we know which term we're talking about. So you can do this using a graphing calculator, y1, y2, second trace 5, enter 3 times. This is if you use a TI-84 plus, or you can solve it using logarithm, right? Divide, log both sides and solving for n. It really depends on how you set it up. Here, the point of intersection after using the graphing calculator is 19.3643. So that means after 19.36 years, it's going to reach 10%. Now, the question asks for complete years. So that means the answer is either 19 or 20. When it's 19 year, it's not reaching $10,000 yet, right? We're going downwards. So you want it to be less than that, so it must be 20 years later. So therefore, n must equal to 20 for the final answer. Okay, so again, if you want to visualize it, what you have here, you're going to have an exponential function going downwards. You have your 3,500 here. The point of intersection is 19.36. So it has to be 20 years for it to be below 3,500. Okay, so that's the financial application question number 2 of the paper 2. Thank you for watching.